Welcome back, dear viewers, and our first guest of the evening is none other than the inspiring one, the performance consultant, Mr. Hamza Taqi. He's a really great master and performance consultant. Good evening, Mr. Hamza. It's really a pleasure to have you here with us on Hala Kuwait.
Good evening, my friend. The pleasure is mine, and I'm always happy to be with you. This is my family.
We are really proud of you, Mr. Hamza, and we are looking forward to talk about self-awareness.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they might not be aware of themselves sometimes when it comes to performing a task or with social activities or any other activities they do in their daily life. So there are different courses like raising self-awareness and also in education and also business training. So can you tell us more, please, about it?
Well, self-awareness is a very important issue, because if I'm not aware of myself, how would I know my capability?
Exactly.
How would I know what triggers me, what makes me sad, what makes me happy? And this is very important, especially in the workplace culture, because you're working with people.
Exactly.
And when you're working with people, you have to know what triggers you, what kind of people that you want to be around with. Knowing self-awareness is knowing yourself,
Exactly.
knowing your capability, knowing your competency, knowing your weaknesses as well, the strengths and weaknesses. And that will make you a bit, realizing yourself, and you'd be humble enough to learn more, to increase, to overcome the weaknesses that you have, and to shine with your strength. And you do that by training, and now with the training and workshop and stuff, I would like to tell our audience that the information and the knowledge are there.
Exactly.
Are there everywhere with the internet, with Google, with all these things. They're there, and there are courses, online, and Coursera, and I don't want to mention them, but there are specialized platform that you can get educated. Podcast now. You can teach, you can learn a lot through podcasts, especially if you are focusing on a certain subject, you want to be an expert on that subject, you follow certain podcasts that are, for example, let's take an example, a skill of sales, to be a good salesperson. And selling skills is always, in the marketplace, there is always scarcity of selling skills.
Exactly.
We're always looking for professional salespeople. And many people that we see in the workforce, and we interview and we test them out, they are not really good salespeople. They just want to present the product to you, even if you don't want the product.
Exactly.
So there is a lack, but the information is there. You can learn if you want, if you desire to learn, you can learn. But then if you are working in a certain organization, be it in the government or in the private sector, the companies, the organizations, they want to develop their people. They want to develop their talent? Why they want to develop talent? Because there are so many reasons for it. If I want to develop my talent, I want them to stay with me, right? So if you are working in a certain environment, that year after year you don't see yourself, you're growing.
Exactly.
You are shining, you're learning new skills. Exactly. You're learning new knowledge.
Exactly.
If you see yourself, you'll be stagnant, and then
being stale.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to stay there. You want to go move somewhere else. Exactly. Where you can learn. Training, for example, business training is a key here, because as I'm a manager and I have people that work for me, for example, I want them to conduct their task and assignments that they have, and they do it almost, to a good standard. So if they don't have the skill, I, as a manager, must develop them or train them and coach them, or I send them to a specialist where they can spend 1 day, 2 days, 2 hours, 1 hour, depending on the situation of the organization as well. Their budget, because it's time consuming and it's expensive, especially if you take, not expensive for the trainer, giving the money for the trainer, it's expensive to take, like for example, 16 of your employee, of your key people, and take them for 2 days outside or inside, but they are focusing on the training. They're not doing the daily task, the work. That's an expense.
Exactly. Mr. Hamza, you've been here with us on Hala Kuwait a lot of times. You always inspire us. We're always happy to have you here with us. You're one of our dearest regular guests. But in my opinion, when it comes to ask you questions, the most important question I will ask you now, the most important question ever we ask you, in my personal opinion, is what courses do you like to see people need and like more? The most important courses they like to log in into.
That's really a difficult and a beautiful question, Mohammed. Really nice. I would say, personally, okay, I would say the self-awareness issue. See, we tend to look at others. We you know, there is a story. May I say it?
Please.
Okay, there is a story of one guy who wanted to leave home with the car keys, but then all of a sudden the house, the building went out of electricity, so it was only dark, pitch dark. So he couldn't find his key. But when he looked at the window, he found that the street lights are on. So he decided to go and look under the street lights. His neighbor passed by, he saw him, he says, "What's wrong?" He said, "I lost my key, I'm looking for my key." So the neighbor parked his car, he went out and started looking for. After 5 minutes, the neighbor said, "Are you sure you lost your key here?" He said, "No, it's upstairs in my flat." He said, "Then why are you looking here?"
That's strange, yeah.
You know, it's like crazy, right?
Yeah.
But we all do that. Because we don't see ourselves, we don't go inside, and we don't check on our values, our limiting beliefs. Sometimes, you know, behaviors that we learned from childhood or learned from school or from, you know, anywhere in the environment that are no longer serving us. We need to delete them and get another behavior for our new life or for our future or for what we are doing now, rather than what we learned in the past and we keep doing, repeating the same thing. So I feel self-awareness, basically looking at yourself, me, Hamza, what do I want from this life? How long I'm going to live in this life? And how can I achieve what I want to achieve? Okay, so this is basically asking yourself and sitting with, especially in New Year's, most people do that. You know, they sit and they spend time and to see, they reflect on what happened during the last year and what they can achieve during the organization. They sit and they see what they where they come from. 3 years back, where were they? Where are they now? And where they want to be. So it's planning. Huh? So. You know, and to do that is they diagnose the organization. They see their weaknesses, they see the threats, they see the opportunities that are. So they strategize and make a plan for the opportunities and make a plan for the threats that they have, using their strength and minimizing their weaknesses. Same as us as a human being. If we are able to identify what we want from this life, we will live life happily all the time. Because, see, we don't know what we want. Most of the time, not only us, all over the world, most of the people, they are overthinking. They have a lot of ways of thinking. They are thinking about the future. They're worrying about tomorrow, what will happen. They're regretting the past.
Exactly.
They're not living, really. You know, because life is, it happens in the moment, in the present. So when you live the present, when you see this, things, you will not be reacting to life. You will be proactive in life. You will set your goals. You will follow your goals. You will follow through, and you will succeed. And once you succeed, you become happy, and you become contagious to the people around you, especially your family and your loved ones.
Exactly.
So yeah, looking at yourself and finding your values and working on that. That's, I think, the best lesson I learned.
Exactly. Yeah. And speaking about following the light, where the light is, there is also something a lot of people do, especially people who are getting into businesses, which is young business.
Yeah.
And what courses they need to start with when it comes to young business, and how do they improve their business in the future?
Yeah.
How they keep maintaining?
See, with entrepreneurs, the idea is that they have a passion.
Exactly.
They have an idea, and they are so passionate about it. And that passion can lead somewhere. But for a certain period, you need team. you need to select the right team for you. You need the right talent for you. Because if I am good in, for example, you asked the question, what are the best course for them? Marketing. You know, because marketing talks about the business itself. Because, you know, in marketing, you are supposed to find out the product or the service that is needed by the market. How do you do that in marketing? And then you have to produce that product, be it in a factory abroad or a factory locally, or you develop it yourself if it's like home business or something. And then you have to market it or promote it.
Exactly.
People don't know that you have you have to price it, you know, competitively, and then people want to know where is it, where they can find it. So you need to promote it, and you have to have a place for it, be it online, so you sell it online, or by delivery, or by website, or by having a physical shop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're speaking also one of the most important issues and subjects that people always have a concern about, especially parents or students. It's about coaching and the role that coaching does to change the future of education and business culture. Will you please explain to us?
Well, coaching is I can't say new, relatively new. And there are still in the market people don't believe in coaching, they don't know about it and stuff. So I could say relatively new. But coaching is very one of the training methods that we use. You know, there are many methods that we use. For example, I would always vouch for on-the-job training, because we learn much better on the job training. It's like, you know, experiencing, you know, and the task that you're motivated, because this is the task you're going to do every day.
Learn
so
and apply.
Exactly. So you want to learn rather than going to Hamza Taqi in a workshop on one of the hotels, and, you know, for 2 days or so, and then you go home back to work, and if there is no link with the supervisor or the manager that says, oh, Muhammad, what did you learn from the 2 days workshop? What we can implement? Can you teach us what you learned so we become better? If there is no that interaction, people tend to forget. They go to their routine, and they tend to forget and pass the thing. But for the entrepreneur, I said marketing and finance, because finance is a core thing. It's the money. It's how you utilize your cash flow, how you, for example, in the good times when you bring a lot of money, how you save the money for the bad time, because you sustain your business, because you're a youth business, you're a young business. You need to manage your income and manage your expense in a more effective way, so you stay, you don't lose. Yeah,
exactly. Also, one of the main concerns, if you send an employee or anyone who works in your company, you send them to a seminar or a course or to a coach. Sometimes they take it as a field trip, like, oh, just we go there, we eat some snacks, drink some coffee, and we leave without understanding. So this here lays the importance of the coach, and how can the coach and coaching help with training in companies and schools also?
See, coaching is totally different than training. Coaching usually is person to person. A training usually the trainer with many people, or the facilitator with many audience. With coaching, you are sitting with the person, executive or a manager or an employee, who has issues in his work, and that's why his boss usually identifies that he needs a coach to help him out, you know, navigate his work. So the coach comes and sits maybe once a week for a period of time, 6 months, 3 months, depending on the situation that the coachee needs. But the coachee needs to be coachable. You know, even the trainee, when you bring students and you teach them, if they don't have the willingness to learn, they will not learn. You can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot force them to drink the water. So the passion has to come from, and they feel the need they want to learn. The coaching is a different, because coaching is I go to your office.
Exactly.
And we have a pre-schedule, we have agreement, me and you are the coachee, I'm the coach. I come to you, for example, on Thursday from 11 to 12 before the prayer time. I spend an hour with you. And all we do together is I ask you questions about your dreams, about your goals, what you want to achieve, what you want to reach. And then we go to the where we are now, huh? And we see what is the capabilities that you have now, and what are the gap of capabilities or skills or competencies that you need to reach your goal.
Exactly.
And then the coach is his role is basically facilitating and helping you and reminding you, because on weekly basis you have an assignment through the week.
Exactly.
When you come back next Thursday, you better do the assignment, because I'm gonna hold you accountable, because we have made an agreement together and you will step up. So the coach doesn't have a lot of work than the coachee himself. The coachee here works more, because he wants to develop himself to reach the potential that he has and the career that he or she wants. So it differs a bit, but it's more targeted. It's more laser, focused on the person himself and developing the person. Now, when you develop the person, usually you are affecting the entire organization sometimes, because that person have changed hopefully for the better. And his colleagues, her colleagues, her friends, they will find out that, oh, Mohammed has changed. He's much better than before. For example, he was not communicating very well. Now he is an excellent communicator, and he's with us, and so on. So they feel that, and they appreciate the coach. They appreciate the coaching intervention that took place.
Exactly. And also, speaking about the aspects, sometimes people have also concern about the aspects to make coaching effective. You just gave us a great example about the horse. You can lead the horse to the water, but you cannot force the horse to drink water. So how can we make it effective?
Yeah. Sometimes you need to motivate them. And to motivate them, you need to show them the light at the end of the tunnel, meaning, the incentive that they will get. So now, any person, when they learn a new skill that is adding value to the workplace, their value will increase. Therefore, they will have better income.
Exactly.
Career-wise, they will be able to, instead of being responsible on a team, so that's more responsibility, that's more value for the organization. Then they have more promotion, more salary. And most people, they look for that. They look for promotions. They want to do better. I believe 100% of all people, they don't want to do mistakes. Who wants to do mistake? No. Or who wants to do wrong? They all want to do good. But sometimes the instructions that was given to them was wrong, or not in the right way, or not in the right time.
Not suitable sometimes.
Or we don't know how to communicate.
Exactly.
We tell you, what to do, but then we have to read your face. Did you understand or not? Now, sometimes you can give me a face that says, what is he saying? But then I am busy. I go.
Exactly.
I gave you the instruction. It went out from me. It's your responsibility. Now, if I am not available as your boss or as your coach, you're gonna have, anxiety a bit.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what to do. I have to give you the instruction. If I have first, I must diagnose you. In that task, the task that you're gonna do, what are your capabilities? Have you done it before or not? As a manager or as a supervisor, I must ask to see my employees, is he able to do this? If it's the first task he gets, I ask him, have you done this? And some people say, yeah, I've done it a lot. Okay, show me. He doesn't have anything, but and then he has not done it a lot. He's not done it before. So if you have not done it before, that means you require a lot of coaching. You require a lot of direction. You need direction, you need step-by-step sample templates. You need to see me often. So I'm available for you to take you from development level 1 to level 2 until you become perfect in that task. And that will make life easier for me as a manager. Because now I don't need to spend time with you. You became professional in that task or in that subject matter. So therefore, I don't need to look after your work, because I know, I trust you, I trained you. You became better and you are doing the job. Then I am more free to plan, to look for the environment, to make the environment better, to remove the obstacles on that faced by the staff or the team, so they can reach their goal or the organizational goal.
Exactly.
So it's a lot to think about, and the idea of giving every person. Sometimes what we do, the mistake that we do, if you are an expert in that task, and I come and give you the details, what will happen to you? I'm asking you, and I'm asking the audience. Like, you are an expert in, for example, in selling. You've been selling and you've been doing very well in sales.
Exactly.
Okay? And then I'm your boss and I'm giving you instruction on how to sell.
Exactly.
What will happen to you? What your morale will happen?
Definitely it will be something challenging to me, and
Yes.
also something I will try to find. It's actually, you gave us a great example, Mr. Hamza. It happened during the peak of the social media, especially social media applications, and now it started to be promotional for businesses. Like, for example, let's say fabric stores.
Yeah.
Before, if you want to buy fabric, you go to any store, to the shop. But now you know the different types of fabrics, and also you know the price, and you know where to get the best fabric and suitable for you, especially for dishdasha. So it's challenging because they adopted something new, which is the social media. It was a big threat for many people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why you say it's threat, but the way I see it, it's a way to communicate.
Exactly.
So if I have a service and I want people to know it, I would go to social media. It's easier, and it's very easier to calculate. Using social media mainly, it's for promoting my products or services. Then you know the people who need your services, your product, the dishdasha. And then the nice thing about the app is, as you said, is you can compare and you can see, and you have more details rather than going to the shop and the shopkeeper is busy with many customers. No, you have your time to look at the standard, the quality, the percentage of wool, and so on, and to select the right color. And for you, it's easier from the luxury of your home or your office.
Definitely. Promise me one day we go together to this fabric store.
I'll take you to the UK better.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Mr. Hamza, for being this evening with us on Hal Kuwait. You really inspired us with today's subject, and thank you so much, and the best of luck.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you and with your audience. Thank you so much.
Dear viewers, we just had with us Mr. Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant. Let's go now to our second report of the evening. It's about 2D Animation Basics Training Course. Let's have a look at it. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.